Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today we're flying the Cirrus SR-22 going from Cordova, Alaska up to Northway. That's an airport we haven't been to yet. Should be about a 58-minute flight. We're going at 19,000 feet, I believe. We may adjust that. But I got a plan for 19,000. Should be about 180 miles. Climb aboard, and let's go. Ow. Let's go flying. Oh. Okay, yeah. Now we can see a little better. Well, it's raining. Not very pleasant weather. Alright, here we are loaded in. Let's go ahead and get the battery switches on. Okay, just check the mixture control, synced it with the controller. Sometimes it does that. Like, mixture on my flight controller is idle cutoff, yet it starts full rich in the sim. Alright, CDI set to GPS. Let's go ahead, set 19,000. FLC on, we'll set to 110. VNav on, nav on. 6 Celsius, we don't need to turn the pitot heat on yet. Let's go ahead, mixture is full rich, boost pump, throttle full forward. Yeah, now it's saying battery. Amperage is draining. Got the power, bump it forward a little bit now. Strobe lights on. Come on. There you go. Kept clicking it and it didn't want to. Alright, and we're good there. Let's go ahead and get the engine started. Clear! There we go. Oil pressure's rising. Temperature's rising up into the green there, and battery amperage is yellow. Alternators come on. That clears. It goes back up. That's looking good. Oil pressure is a tiny bit high. That'll settle itself out as the oil warms up. Now let's go ahead and get the weather here real quick at Cordova. Wind is 0504. We can really take off either direction. The wind is pretty gentle. Light rain, few clouds 3,000, broken at 4,700, and overcast at 6,000. Temperature 6 and 2959. That is set on the altimeter, and the temperature matches. We will need to use icing if we go through this cloud layer and that one. Let's just check our de-icing real quick here. 4.5 hours at normal, an hour at maximum, which won't be necessary. But let's just check and make sure that works. Yep, normal comes on. Now it goes to high, back to normal, max, and windshield. We don't need to test that. That's good there. We'll go ahead and turn the pitot heat on as we'll need it. Pretty much as soon as we get airborne and the temperature drops below 5 Celsius. Alright, we can turn the avionics on and the nav lights, and let's go ahead and get ready to taxi out. And I think we'll taxi... I think we'll take 27. Doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, why not? We'll go down 27. Alright, let's go ahead, release the parking brake, pull back on the power. Now, I can't tell, let's... That's not a double with the shoulder. Markings are not really what I think they should be. Here, yeah, okay, here's where the center line starts, and hey, there's a fire truck! And it's gonna drive right through my airplane, I bet you. Now, we've gotta stop up here and taxi down. Actually, from here, we have enough room to take off. So we can actually just go ahead, set the parking brake, and let's do a quick run-up. First thing we'll do, power goes up to 1700. Bump it just a little more. That's good there. Mag check. That looks good. Back to both. Good. Alright, engine instruments are all in the green, no warnings, errors, cautions, alerts. We'll go ahead and pull back to idle power. And throttle keeps wanting to jump. Landing light on. Pitot heat is on, that's good. We don't need de-icing systems yet. Those are set. Flaps down to half. Checked flight controls, flaps are confirmed to half both sides. Rudder's good, elevator's good, ailerons are good. We're above freezing, we'll have no ice on the aircraft. And we're about halfway. I would say we don't need to back taxi. Back into the cockpit, and just make sure everything is set. 19,110 knots, yeah, we're good. Alright. Let's release the parking brake. Gonna make a right turn onto the runway. Get nice lined up on the center line here. We could just actually keep rolling. We are good. Full power. There we go. Airspeed is already alive. Engine instruments are green. We're looking good. 77 will rotate. There we are. Up. Beautiful. Positive brake. Let's go ahead and bring the flaps up. Once we get to 800, we can go ahead and engage the autopilot.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright. Oh. Now, 3 Celsius, only 1,000 feet above the 2 now. So yeah, we're 15, not even 1,500 feet above the ground, and now it's 1. So the temperature is dropping just very rapidly. And it looks like we're going to be getting ready to go through... Well, it's raining and the temperature is this, so we are going to go ahead and turn our ice light on, and we're going to turn de-icing on immediately. We'll also turn the cabin heat up, and we'll turn it on to medium, just to start, kind of help prevent the windshield, because it's already 0 Celsius. I mean, the temperature plummeted fast. Generally goes down 2 degrees Celsius for every 1,000 feet, and it went 6 Celsius down in less than 2,000, which is a pretty rapid rate. We've got terrain clearance. -1, let's just take a look, make sure we're not really getting any icing. We shouldn't with the de-icing systems on. I think we're going to be okay. We don't get much of a great view right now, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and take a look at our route. So here's Cordova. We've been in and out of there a few times. And we are going up to Northway, so we're flying over this, which I believe is the Copper River. This may not be. This is. And this is I believe Mount Wrangell and St. Elias are over here. This is a national park with some pretty tall mountains. So we'll be going right over that. And then Northway is here, kind of in the flats. We'll fly over a couple glaciers. Hopefully we'll get a decent view. And this is the Yukon River over in the Yukon Territory, so we're not far from the border of Canada. We're not going to be quite as close as, like, let's say if we're going into Eagle, which is about 110 miles to the north. But we'll still only be a few miles away from the Canadian border. So hopefully we'll get some decent scenery. We are starting to pick a little bit of ice up. You can see a few mountains kind of down below here. Look at that, you can actually see the sun a bit. Alright, let's go into the cockpit. Landing light can be off. And I think we can actually just go ahead and turn the ice light off for now. Lean the mixture down to the bottom of the green. Boy. Maria, welcome. -8. So there's a little bit of ice along the windows. Turn cabin heat up to deal with that. A little bit of aircraft weight, but if I'm taking a look at the leading edge of the airframe, to the wings, yeah, just a trace of ice. So I think we're okay. And hey, there's a little bit of blue sky. So that's a good sign. We're going to be going through some more clouds. Tell you what, let's turn the cabin heat up a little bit, and we'll cycle the icing. We'll turn that back on. I don't think we'll need to turn it too high. So it doesn't really look like the rate of accumulation is being a problem. We're getting a bit on the windshield and the windows here, but on the wings where it really matters the most, it is well under control. And then once we break out of the clouds, we'll be hit by the sunlight, and that will help to melt some of that off. And here we're going to be going through the clouds again, pick up a little more icing. Minus 13 up here at this altitude. A 20 knot direct tailwind is kind of nice. Oh, that's a thin cloud that we just go and... Yeah, we're coming up above the cloud tops, pretty much. We can zoom back out on this. Yeah, there we go. Couple glaciers right below us. It's 1, 2 large ones right there. And we'll see a couple going back. You can't really see back to where we took off from, just because the clouds are quite thick. But a little break in them, and you can see the mountains and the glaciers below. It seems like most of the way, we're not going to really have a whole lot of terrain to look at. Maybe some of the mountaintops if they're poking through the clouds. But I don't know. But it should be pretty above the cloud tops. And then I think we're going to have a little bit of an interesting descent into Northway. The last I looked at, the weather was pretty much right about minimums. So, yeah, that's going to be... Yeah, coming up through a little more clouds here. Minus 16 at 14,000 feet. How are we doing on icing? From what I can see so far, not really any different. Yeah, we're really now broken through the cloud tops. Yeah, more glaciers, more mountains. Actually might have a little bit of a decent view coming up through once we get to cruise. Let's just check the wings. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've been right on top of the ice. It's not any worse. So the de-icing is doing what it is supposed to, which is good. And I'm gonna let it run just for a little bit longer. Just to melt off, but the sun will melt the remainder of that. It says exit icing. That's, you get that when the de-ice has been on for 5 minutes, so we'll just cycle it again. That clears it. Here's 18,000 feet. We'll set standard pressure, and it automatically pushes us up about 350 feet on the altimeter. And let me go ahead and turn the flight tracker on. I set it up and forgot to enable it on screen. But there we go. And here we are coming up on 19,000 feet. Here we level off, and let's go ahead and pull the power back to 30.5. Alright, mixture's leaned, power is set. Let's go ahead, switch the fuel tank, turn the boost pump off, and, yep, little bumpy. It's pretty light turbulence. Just as we're kind of flying over the mountains. And yeah, so, and we're set to cruise, and looks like, well, we're still accelerating, but this is saying about 40, at the moment, 43 minutes to go. It'll be less than that. We zoom out, and it actually is more clear out over this way. So you can see these mountains out here. Valdez, actually, I believe you can see it, yeah. Yeah, Valdez, I believe, is actually right out over here. That would be. Unless that's kind of, we're looking over here. No, I believe that's it over there. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I believe it's out there. You get some glaciers, everything is snow covered down here. And the temperature will start dropping pretty rapidly in the interior. Oh, and oh, whoa, look at that. Get just a very brief glimpse of a double rainbow right there. And you get a little bit right here. It's a little more faint, but still visible. So that's kind of cool. You don't really see that often. Alright, and let's take a look around. Minus 22 up here at 19,000 feet. Oh. Yeah, so if we look back at the map, we're passing over... This is the Copper River. And then we will be passing over the branch of the Chidana River, which is up here. Which will be, I believe, about our halfway. No, not quite. Not quite the halfway point. And then we fly over Wrangell St. Elias National Park, which are all these tall mountains here. And the tallest mountain that we'll be going over is Mount Wrangell, which is here. And then there are a couple others that are fairly tall. And then we'll be going over some smaller mountains, and then over the Nabesna River, which is a glacier actually down here. And then there's the Chisana Glacier that runs over here. And those two rivers merge right around Northway and combine into what we know as the Tanana River. And the Tanana River, of course, runs through some of these other towns up here. Talk, Tanacross, Delta Junction up here, and then Fairbanks and some other towns, and then eventually it merges into the Yukon River. So that's really where the Tanana River all starts. It's right on our arrival in the Northway. And the last glimpse of what I'm looking at, the weather's actually improving. It was pretty bad at Northway right at minimums, and it's looking a little better now. We can go ahead and turn the icing off. Yeah, look out at the mountains that way. They get a little taller over there. Pretty thick cloud cover throughout. We did have a little bit of a break in them where you can see. And if you look back this way, I believe that's the Prince William Sound, or just little bits of it are visible. And what is it saying right now? Yeah, 36 minutes remaining. So we've reached our final cruise speed. And my laundry is just about done, so I'll be up picking that up, but here at cruise altitude I'll have plenty of time to get that done with little to check. I have to work tonight. I would love to have been able to do another kind of late evening flight like I did last night, because the view and the sunset and everything in Aktuvik Pass when we started, and then the ultimate sunset going over to Fort Yukon was just epic. But hopefully this will be pretty enough as well. I know there's really not a whole lot to see given the cloud cover. But it is a pretty blue sky, and I mean, there are some breaks in the clouds. The mountains are visible. And here we have a rainbow again, not double, but a single, which is nice. Laundry's getting ready to finish up. I need some water. And we're about, just a little less than 3 weeks away from Flight Sim 2024. I plan on getting it pretty early in. It may not be exactly day one, but, it might be. But I am looking forward to that. It's going to have some new planes. The scenery just overall is going to be better, more realistic. The great thing specific to doing these Alaska flights is if we get more nighttime, we'll get to see the northern lights pretty frequently, which is going to be a huge plus. That's going to be a really good addition to the sim. Some different planes. I think we'll be able to still fly the Cirrus SR-22. I know they plan on keeping the X-Cub, unless I've misheard that. Which the X-Cub is really fun when we do our floats, and just some fun old tailwheel bush plane flying, stuff like that. We'll do the Vision Jet, which goes higher and faster. And we'll do that kind of between some of the larger airports, for example, Anchorage and Fairbanks. I mean, even some of the airports with decent-sized paved runways like Talkeetna, Kodiak, Kenai, Soldotna, stuff like that. Probably won't be able to fly that into the bush. But I think there will be a lot of opportunities to do some cool flights in the Cirrus Jet, or the Vision Jet. We'll be doing a lot of the same stuff that I do in this flight sim now. It'll just look better, and run better. Get to see some cool stuff. Better detail, better functionality. Let's just grab a quick look at some folding laundry. 22 knot. Let's see. 19 knot tailwind component right now. And we're a little over a third of the way. Music player, welcome. A little bit of a break in the clouds. We can see the ground coming up down here, but it actually looks like these clouds are coming up above 19,000 feet at the tops, and if they in fact are, then let's see, minus 24. Yeah, we'll still need to turn the de-icing on. Realistically, you can pick up icing all the way down to minus 40. However, it's most common at temperatures down to about minus 20. So when you're below that, it's generally less common and less severe, and that's because the moisture forming clouds and stuff are more so very small ice crystals as opposed to liquid droplets. However, there are other factors that go into the type of ice and the intensity of the icing, and I don't believe the simulator actually really simulates that. Maybe 24 will. I know they've said they're doing a big rework of the weather system. And as somebody who minored in meteorology, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be a nice change. Some more realistic weather. Just below halfway there. And we are going to be going through some of these cloud tops. Oh, take a look there. We have a little bit of a break in the clouds. Just take a look at those, this mountain ridge kind of right here. Yep. We are getting ready to go through some ice. Let's turn the airframe de-ice on. We can still leave it at normal. I don't think it warrants going to high, but we'll take a look when we come out of this. And if the icing is worse than expected, oh yeah, that's hardly anything. I'll just leave it on. We go through a few more of those. Just as a precaution. We're carrying so much anyway. It doesn't hurt to leave it on for a few minutes as a precaution. Now, really emphasize icing. It is one of the most dangerous things to aviation. And I also do have a little bit of real-world experience flying in icing conditions, and I got to witness firsthand how icing affects your ability to fly the aircraft, and what needs to be done if you encounter it. Alright, right at the halfway point. Or now just ever the tiniest bit past it, I suppose. 22 minutes to go. Yeah, just still going through kind of some of these wispy cloud tops. In a minute we'll start planning on our descent and approach into Northway. One other thing about Flight Sim 24 that I hope is different and fixed compared to this version is, like, there are a few airports that don't have any, and some that do not have adequate like parking and startup locations. Northway is one of the ones that doesn't have any ability to load in onto the ground in a parking location. You have to start on the runway. So it basically makes starting a flight at those airports, it's not impossible, because the way you can do it is load in and slew the aircraft, which actually means you pause the simulator, move it around. It's kind of cheating though, and then you actually have to shut the engine down, because when you load in on the runway, you actually load in with your engine started. And That's not as fun, in my opinion. Alright, let's take a look here. Minus 25, we didn't pick up any ice through that. We're gonna shut it off for now. Let's get ready to choose an approach. No weather available. Alright, let's do this. Alright, 300 at 5, 1 3/4 mile visibility with light snow, broken at 2600, overcast 3900, minus 8, 2978 on the ground. It's gonna come down to which runway has the lower approach minimums, but I think we're gonna be okay either side. So the minimums are 3/4, so I think what we'll do, let's set up, because the wind is going to be a little more favorable. We'll go for 300. Yeah, no, that's going to be, yeah, 23 is going to be more favorable. And that's visual. It does not have the RNAV approach. I don't understand why that's not coming up. There is an RNAV approach here. Guess the charts just don't have it for whatever reason. Oh, and it's also runway 624 now, so they actually need a... that's a circling approach, can't even do it. Alright, tell you what we're gonna do here. So we're gonna do visual 2-3. That's got us flying a teardrop entry. The terrain is low in that area, so I don't think we'd really have to worry about that. Yeah, it's low enough all the way down through here to where we don't have to go really below like 3,000 or so. Alright, let's hit direct and get set up. If we need to kind of change anything, we can do so. Alright, we are getting a little ice. Let's go ahead and turn that back on. Now we have a 35 knot tailwind. So that's actually picked up just in the last few miles. That's clouded over. We're a few minutes away from top of descent, but let's go ahead and just get some stuff set up for it. Take altitude down to 4. There's terrain higher than that, but we won't actually go lower than that until we're out over the flatlands where it will be safe to do so. And we also have terrain terrain height awareness on this here, so if we do see any that we would need to level off for, we can do so. All of those are still on, and set as they need to be, so that's good. Alright, yeah, we're looking good there. A little bit of a breakup of the clouds here, so we can see a little more terrain. It's kind of nice. Looking to see, can we pick up any of the glaciers yet? Yeah, you know what? I believe this is where the Nebesna Glacier starts. So we'll look and see, can we see it? Maybe. I don't think this is it right here. Oh wait, yeah. Actually, I think it is. This is it right here. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's a little bit obscured by some of the clouds. But, this looks like the... Yeah, this looks like the Nebesna Glacier right here. The Chisonic Glacier's over that way. But the rivers basically will run straight up in. This one will. Through here. And then the Chisonic Glacier runs, and then it kind of curves up. With the river at the end of the glacier. And they merge basically right at Northway into the Tanana River, as we talked about a little earlier. But let's take a look. Yep, we're getting ready top of descent here. I'm also getting hungry, so it probably is a good thing I did an early flight. Alright, there we go. Top of descent. Let's go ahead and pull the power back down to about 37%. That'll work there. Exit icing. We'll just have to cycle that there. We're pretty much out of moisture. Out of visible moisture, I should say. So yeah, we're... It's a little better over here. Visibility's clearing up. So this is actually... this has turned into somewhat better of a view than I expected it to be throughout the flight. Alright. What was the altimeter setting? I can't remember. I think it was 2979. Okay. So let's go ahead and set that. There we go. And we're keeping right about that 160 speed that I was looking for. Which... that's a really cool thing when you fly this plane a lot and you're accustomed to just... It's really called getting a feel for the airplane. Does the checklist, does the procedure say you need to descend maintaining 160 knots? No. But when you do the VNAV and you start your descent, the rate it gives you and that power setting will generally produce the same thing. We can actually come back just a tiny bit as we're speeding up. Yeah, right about there. To maintain that 160, which is about what we're doing at cruise. When we're cruising at 19, 20, 21,000 feet. And you just get a feel for that and know that it works. And you can make adjustments accordingly. And yeah, we've just come down just a little bit, and look at this, the wind is much less. That's only a 17 knot tailwind, and it's a... compared to up at 19,000, it was about 38 knots before we before we started our descent. You can see some... well, I suppose that would be snow, not rain, given the temperatures are much colder now that we're further into the, I believe this is considered the interior. It has to be. This maybe not. But possibly. But this far in, I mean, if you look, we're not far from... this is Carmax and Dawson in the Yukon Territory. And up that way is Delta Junction and Fairbanks. Yeah, I would say this is interior Alaska. So of course it is going to be a lot cooler. Especially than Cordova, given that it sits basically right on the water. Now the wind is starting to shift, and yeah, just look at the clouds building up here. This is a sign that it's going to be messy getting in. And we need to pay close attention to the weather, because when you do have bad weather conditions like that, they do more frequent updates to reflect the changes. Hasn't updated, so it isn't too bad, I'm supposing. And the wind has basically shifted to pretty much a direct crosswind. Some mixtures at the bottom of the green, so we're good there. That is pretty. Quick look outside. Oh! Yeah, now you can see the river, and it looks like it's largely frozen over now. Maybe not completely. You get the mountains back there, but it starts to kind of flatten out over here. And let's just take a look at where we are relative to everything, since we don't really have good visual references on the ground. It's about 7 minutes away from the airport. So we're probably good 25 miles or so. We'll be flying up over. We can modify our turn to approach if we need to. Not technically supposed to use a visual approach when the weather's below VFR minimums, but the reason I have that set up is, number one, it will provide vertical guidance, and two, the airport does actually have RNAV approaches, and the simulator just is not replicating them. But if I pull the chart up, it actually has a course that we can follow. Yeah, we'll be fine. This'll work.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits. You can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting.
Picking up a little bit of icing. Let's go ahead and turn this back on. Temperature's minus 12. More prone to pick up icing at these temperatures and going through these clouds. In fact, yeah, the windshield's actually starting to ice over. We haven't really flown through clouds, though. But I'm actually going to go ahead and turn the cabin heat up to help out with that. I don't think we really have any on the wings. Nah. Yeah, so we're okay there. It's really just to kind of melt that there. So we start going through the clouds, we're bound to pick up more though. So we'll have that running. We'll turn it to high if we need to. For now, I think normal should be totally fine. But let's zoom in on the map. Yeah, the terrain is pretty flat out over here. Let's... Actually, let me see... Let me pull the chart up and see if I can go direct to fix that, if it exists. Alright. So let's actually... Does it exist? Yes, it does. No procedure turn. Or if we do... WIRIS. Does that exist? Yes, it does. Oh, that takes us way out, though. Holy cow. Okay. That's gonna add a bit of flight time. Now that's setting us up for a pretty extended... Let's see, 1.8, 4.8, 6.1, 1.1. Do quick math. 0.37. That's 13 miles to the intermediate fix. Yeah, okay. So the airport's here, so it's actually not taking us quite as far as I thought, but it's definitely shorter than just setting up for the visual. Safe altitude in that area, this actually says 7,600 feet. But I know for a fact that there's no terrain above 4,000 feet. Headed up in that area. I'll tell you what we'll actually do is level off at 4,900, because that's what the chart is saying. So we'll do that. Ice is starting to pick up a bit faster. Yep. Tell you what, let's turn it to high, and we'll do the windshield de-ice. And let's just check and see. Yeah, we've got plenty. Everything's looking pretty good. And any real prolonged flight in this, though, is not really ideal, but you can see there's a break in the sky there, but then it's kind of fogged in on the ground. It's not really fogged in, but it's just low visibility due to the snowfall. We're leveled off. Add some power. We're picking up a good bit on the windshield and the windows. The wings, yeah, picking up a bit there, but it's not. It's not looking to be too bad. But we really don't want to delay much. Throttle to idle, full left rudder, full opposite aileron, full back on yoke. It's a shortcut to Northway. No, it's not. It is a shortcut to the ground. Now you're talking to a real-world pilot. And those are 100% the conditions to enter a spin. We're gonna have to do this fix-to-fix, it looks like, since the approach isn't in the navigation system. A little more clear out over here. Of course, it kind of sucks you have to go this far out. So with that long of the flight time, I would have probably set up for 5 and take a tailwind coming into land, but it's not a big deal. We'll get the next fix typed in, which is that. We'll hit that once we get there to there. That fix.
In the darkest night, I saw your eyes.
And we would still have to be at 4,900.
Sense of threat that I can't forget.
Probably actually just go direct to that now. So we'll just make the turn. Yeah, let's... Yeah, oh, that's perfect. Yeah. How's the ice looking? Yeah, we're continuing to pick ice up. Oh yeah, that's getting worse. We're getting it on the tail. Yes, we need to keep it on high. Okay. Yeah, so it's really, we need to get on the ground. Let's go landing light. Turn de-ice max, and we'll go ahead and hit the windshield. Yeah, we need to get on the ground here pretty quick. From NISIP, however you say that. The next fix is Hubom, and that is the final approach fix. Spelled that wrong. Brain's getting a little higher here. Still have plenty of clearance over it. I'm a little concerned about this icing though. It's not horrible, but it's to the point where we do need to not delay getting down onto the ground. What happened there? Alright, let's hit enter direct to that fix there. And actually, if we set vector to final, that should put us right on track. Once we turn, we should be set right up on it. Let me go ahead and turn to VNav. Alright, that's setting us up on our... We actually have time to descend since this diamond is high. We're below it, so we've got time to work with that. And it's about 4 minutes we'll be on the ground. Glide path intercepted. And we're descending, and that's actually helpful. Airport elevation 1,700 feet. So I'll actually just bring it all the way down. Pull back on the power. Don't want to get too fast. We actually need to pull the power back further so we can get down to 150 to lower the flaps. So we're just going to pull it back to idle for the time being. And the visibility is getting worse. Effectively, we're on the RNAV approach. But yeah, look at that. The prop spinner's got ice. Yeah, that's a fair bit of ice. We need to get out of that. I don't know why it's descending us low, though. I mean, the diamond is up here. We're definitely below the altitude that we should be at. I'm not sure why the RNAV set, or the VNav set us to descend there, knowing the diamond is there. It is giving us a steady descent rate, though. And to be fair, we do have terrain clearance. If you take a look at all of that, still in the green. If it was in the yellow, I'd be a little more concerned. And I'm baffled as to why there is not an approach in the navigation system when the charts are updated. Kind of odd. Right, we leave the icing on. Let's go boost pump, change fuel tank, mixture full rich. Landing light is on. Let's turn the ice light on too. So we've got it. And yeah, that's a good bit of ice. We need to get on the ground. I know I've said that. Excuse me. Alright, yeah, no, they're starting to converge. Okay. I guess maybe it was just setting a steady, gradual rate so that we don't intercept and have to start dropping quick. Well, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to see. Should start going down with the diamond. Let's go max and windshield. Okay. Let's disengage the autopilot. Ooh. Came up a little steep there. Looking for the runway. I know it's ahead. I don't see the lights. I mean, I have the airfield, so we're okay. Need to carry just a little more speed since we are heavier with the ice. There's the runway. I've got it. I can see the beacon. And our speed is right at that minimum point that the aircraft prefers for the icing systems. We're coming in fast. Let's take the power out. Let's go full flaps. Oh no, you know what? We can't. We gotta land with 50%. I forgot about that. The icing systems are on. This is gonna be... This may be a bit of a rough landing. Because we're coming in fast and we only have half flaps. Power out, just kind of glide it down. Minus 42, okay. That was way better than I thought it would be. Alright, well, we did go past our turn. Bring the flaps up. We're just gonna do a 180 right here on the runway. Is this wide enough to turn, or we're gonna end up... Nah, there we go. Right to the other edge. That works. Add a little bit of power in. A fair bit of snow. Alright, we're cleared in. And... let's turn over here and just find a place to shut down. It's like the building and parking services are over here. Or are those just trees? Guess we just park ourselves. Okay. That'll work right there. Alright. Let's go ahead and set parking brake. Alright, we can turn the icing off, pitot heat off, ice light, landing light, nav lights off, boost pump off, power's idle, it doesn't want to keep jumping around. Flaps are up. Let's turn the avionics off. There we go, hour and 7 minutes, and of course it took a little bit further since we had to venture out to get set up on the approach there. Engine stops, yeah, that's quite a bit of ice. We really could not stay in the air much longer. It's just good we made it down on the ground when we did. Strobe lights can come off, alternator switches, magnetos, and last but not least, batteries. And yeah, that's quite a bit. And somehow the sun is visible, shining just barely through all of that there. Yep. And I think there was a weather update, so let's see what it's saying now. Just out of curiosity. 4 miles visibility, so that's an improvement. And yeah, the clouds have changed to -7. Yep. Alright folks, well that's going to do it for this one. Welcome to Northway, Alaska. Appreciate you flying with me, and hope to catch you aboard on the next one. And until then, as always, take care, stay safe, we'll see ya.